Okay, so my video cut out before I was done. All right, so I'll get back to where I was at. I was showing you your sound cards, and I was telling you, you set up your sound card that's connected to your radio, pick the color waterfall, otherwise it's going to be a black and white over here. Set up your cat control. If you are using FT8 or any other digital mode, you set it up according to that. You're going to have to play around with it. I ended up having to play around with mine to make it work. My other computer, it worked out of the box. This one, not so much. So, make sure this is checked, otherwise it will never connect to this. Okay. In here, you click on modems. You can leave these by default. Leave this by default. TX delay, I believe, is after it tells it to start transmitting, it delays that long to make sure the mic kicks in, turns on. And then TX tail is when it's done, it keeps the mic open for a little bit longer. That way it makes sure that it doesn't cut off at the end. You may have to play with those. I believe Bruce had to set his up to 700. This needs to be RxTX. That's the only thing you do. You only have to worry about this side. So you'll come in here, you'll go to channel selection. You can update it by the internet, or if you know you've got a good connection, you can update it by radio. You pick the channel you want to connect to. So I'm going to pick Scott's. I'm going to double click on it. Now it's going to give you this warning, set the packet radio frequency to 145.610. It does that because the cat control does not change channels on this. All the cat control does is transmit, receive, and that's it. So you have to manually set your radio to FM 145.610 or whatever. You can do direct, or if you know of a digipeater, you can do digipeater, and you can put in their call sign. So the way it goes is, it is where I want to end up, where I have to go first, where I have to go second. Okay, so if, say, to get to Scott, you have to go to me first, you'd put in W0PCD-4, and then let's say you have to get to Scott's digipeater outside. To get inside, you'd have to put in N0MRZ-1 or whatever it is. So you have to put the whole path, the breadcrumbs. So when you click start, it won't work for me. Again, I don't have the mic hooked up, but you'll see over here on this side, you'll see it's trying to connect. Okay. And you can hear the radios clicking on and off. If it connects, you will see that information over here, and you'll see the process of it connecting. You'll see the different categories and information here. You'll see the messages over here. Over here, you'll see that it connected, and then it'll prompt you to download your messages and go through that whole process just like the other ones do. Let me pause this for a second. All right, so I paused it long enough to plug in the speaker port so you could actually see the waterfall in action. Like I said, it won't connect because I didn't plug the microphone in. But I'll show you what it looks like as you're trying to connect. So it should be blacking out over here, but obviously it's not because I'm not connected. So, but this is dependent on the volume of your radio, at least on mine. If I turn the radio down, you'll see the colors change. Likewise, if you turn up your squelch, the colors will change. So again, it'll go through the whole process of downloading your messages. It'll prompt you for them and it'll download them. When you're done, you just simply click exit. And it closes it all out and you can read your messages. So if you want to send a message, come up here, you click on message, and then you want to click new message. Okay, so you can add whoever you want to add to it, or you can start out by selecting a template. So I've got a few templates set up here as favorites, so they're automatically up here. That way I don't have to look for them. But you select a template, go through standard. You got your American Red Cross forms here. You've got your FEMA form, which you won't use those, but you've got your general forms, which are like your Winlink check-in, damage assessment, race tracker, incident status, incident action plan, GPS position report, things like that. You have your ICS forms, which are the main ones that we will use. So you've got like your 208, your 203, your 210, 213, 214. So what I would use are, you want to have a 214 and you want to do a 309. So 214 is everything. 309 is just what traffic you send. So let's do a 309. So it comes up in your browser. If you've already got things set up in here, you can load that. Otherwise, you can click on Setup, and it prompts you. So I'll say Muscatine, Cedar, Louisa County, Aries. We'll call this task number 1. Click on the date and time, and it pulls it from the system. Let's see, we'll say number 1, task name. And then if it should fill that in for you. If you don't, you can change it. And then you can put in your call sign. If you have 309 data to load, you can do it from a spreadsheet. You can load it, and it'll prompt you for it, and it'll be a text file. So let's say 1723 from W0 to N0MRZ. I hope I put the right one in. Then you can do like, let's see, 4. And then I'll say 7.5. All right. You should, in theory, be filling this out as you go along. Have this tab open in your window the whole time. That way you're able to do this all in one shot. So you can save it. And if you open it up, it's a text file. So that's what it looks like. So it's just a tab delimited text file. So then you can turn around and reload it. You can use that to load it. Okay. So once you have it all set up, then you come down here, you click submit. So it tells you to complete your form submission, click OK, close the open browser, or in this case, tab. So when you close the tab and you minimize your browser, there's your ICS form. Okay. Certain forms will automatically fill in this information for you. Other forms will not. Let's see. Always put yours in. Okay. Always carbon copy yourself, whether it's your Winlink or it's your outside email. Carbon copy one of your outside email addresses. That way you know that you got it sent. Just click post outbox. There it is. So I will open a telnet session so that these will go out again. And there you go, they went out. And I have 3 more to check, 3 more to download. You may or may not have things to download. Okay. All right. Some settings that you might want to set up. Let's go to preferences. I've got it set to viewing about 2 seconds automatically. This is where you can automatically move them to the red items folder. You don't have to check that if you don't want to. I do it because I like a clean inbox. Have this one set up as well. Set this up. Set these 2 up. And what that does is if they're using Winlink Express, it automatically does that little ACK message that I was getting. And it automatically tells them, hey, I want a read request. If you're sending it to somebody outside, it does not work. Okay, it'll have a little blurb at the bottom saying message requested, but it doesn't actually do anything for them. So you can have it set up to automatically send the receipts, or you could have it set up to ignore. This one you want checked.